Alrighty, welcome to Pyjama Astrology. I had meant to record a video that would cover these dates before the weekend, but there was just absolutely no sound. I have no idea what happened, but we have some interesting transits going on, so I'm gonna talk about them. Now, the whole point of Pyjama Astrology is to encourage showing up as your authentic self and discussing astrology. It doesn't always have to be, super thought out or professional. Depending on your own personality, that might change. But I know as a budding astrologer 7 years ago, I was super intimidated to just start talking about astrology. So, Pyjama Astrology, I'm in my Jonas Brothers t-shirt, and we have some fun transits. So right now, today is January 15th. So we're going to talk about the transits up until the end of the month, the 30th, really. And something that currently happened was Mercury moving into Capricorn. That just happened over the weekend on the 13th, this Saturday. And Mercury moving into Capricorn is really interesting because this begins this lovely little conjunction between Mercury and Mars throughout their time in Capricorn. And they're always staying within about that 8-degree orb, and Mercury and Mars partnered with the Sun in Capricorn, and then we still have Pluto in Capricorn for a little bit. It's super powerful. Now, Pluto has been moving between Capricorn and Aquarius recently. It moved into Aquarius earlier in 2023, just for a few months, retrograded back in Capricorn, and we have another one of those patterns now. And I have my ephemeris, I'll probably pull it out or have proper dates in the show notes for when Pluto's influence leans into Aquarius and then goes back, because that's really important, and it ties in to the importance of this Mercury-Mars conjunction in Capricorn. Because having Mercury and Mars, the planet of communication and the planet of action, conjunct at the early degrees of Capricorn, all the way pretty much until the last degrees of Capricorn, while Pluto's making these movements, is really interesting to consider. Because we have the inner planets, Mercury and Mars, making things click for us. Pluto is the furthest planet out of the 9 planets? I get a little confused sometimes because I'm a Hellenistic astrologer, so I think it must be 9 in the modern tradition. And Pluto, being one of the outermost planets or celestial bodies that we study consistently, is about transformation, and its energies are so subtle. And Pluto has been in Capricorn doing its magic since 2008. So having Mercury and Mars pair up right now while Pluto is going to shift into Aquarius makes things click, makes those light bulb moments happen in regards to how these themes of Capricorn are showing up in our lives, are changing. And so there's 2 things you need to focus on. 1, the general messages of Capricorn. 2, where Capricorn shows up in your chart and in relation to your major placements. So first things first, Capricorn energy itself really digs into some of these. I'm not sure what mic is working, so I just had an ADHD moment where, just in case, I have to make sure this mic is being shown. Pluto in Capricorn is all about greater change in terms of ambition. And we can tell this or see this story from 2008. There was that stock market crash. I was too young to actually be well educated about it, but so much has shifted within that time about how people see corporate structures, how people see commercialism, and so many people are now not desensitized, but the veil has been lifted when it comes to advertisements and schemes, multi-marketing, multimedia marketing, all of those things. People are now debunking them, and we're becoming more aware and, being able to separate ourselves from the popular consumerism, I guess, or also being able to recognize where we fit in in what consumer groups, for example, or what groups of intelligence, awareness, and ambition. You might be still an ambitious person who leans towards academia or corporate structures, or an entrepreneurial person who's ambitious, or your ambitions might be more located to family. There's a place in the world now for you to be ambitious on those levels, and it will be continuing to be more clear when Pluto moves into Aquarius throughout the next few years, that Aquarius is establishing more of a community-based energy. Pluto in Aquarius is going to let you be more of an individual. So that's what Pluto in Capricorn has been building towards, the kind of best of both worlds, or establishing that. I'm sure other astrologers have other commentaries, but with Mercury and Mars, we're starting to understand where our place is now with this Mercury and Mars conjunction. Throughout the next month, we're all going to be able to be like, this is where I fit in, or this aligns with my ambitions. I'm going to go this way. Things are changing, and you don't have to think about how things were or how you should act based on things that were set years ago, because things are changing. And that leads me to the end of this week on the 20th. That is when Pluto is conjunct to the Sun right before the Sun moves into Aquarius, and then Pluto moves into Aquarius, I think a few hours later. It's really, really close. So the significance of the Sun and Pluto both moving into Aquarius around the same time is really highlighting these themes of change, transformation, greater, more like substantial growth, or that growth that just has an impact. It would be interesting to see if around the 20th there is another cultural moment, or something that happens in governments or decision making within those big structures, but also within yourself. So while the Sun is in Aquarius from the 20th onward, we still have that conjunction of Mercury and Mars in Capricorn. So themes of Capricorn are still relevant while working with Aquarius themes of innovation, your personal uniqueness, community, kind of stepping outside of the norms. So this is a beautiful way to kick off 2024, because you're going to be able to make your own structures or do something really cool there. When is I didn't mark on my personal calendar when the full moon is, but a full moon in Aquarius creeps up on us. The full moon in Aquarius is on January 25th. And this is going to be an opportunity. It's a full moon in Leo, actually, sorry. So the full moon in Leo for Aquarius season really asks us to show up and have a little fun, have a little optimism with all of these things that are changing. And that is really going to help us drive forward these actions, these new information, new thoughts that are coming from Mercury and Mars conjunction in Capricorn. There's going to be new information and stuff for us to act on that will allow us to feel more optimistic. So let me know if you have any questions. Look at where Capricorn is in your natal chart and what house it is in regards to your sun and moon signs as well, your solar and lunar houses. If you have more questions about that, just comment or message me at Sarah Goldsmith Astro. I love talking about using both your sun, moon, and rising sign house systems to get a clearer picture of how all of this stuff works for you. So that's Pyjama Astrology for January 15th to 30th, and I'll see you guys next time.